My name is Lois, and for the longest time, I felt like I was made to fade into the background. I wasn't loud, I wasn't popular, I wasn't the kind of person people noticed twice. At school, I sat near the window, always choosing the same seat. Not because I loved the view, but because it was safe. Teachers often described me as quiet, intelligent, and reserved. My classmates just called me that girl. Break times were the hardest. Everyone gathered in groups, laughing and sharing stories. I usually pretended to scroll on my phone even when there were no new messages. Sometimes I went to the library just so it wouldn't look like I was alone. At home, my siblings seemed to shine effortlessly. One was confident, another athletic, another outspoken. During family gatherings, they were praised and celebrated, while I quietly helped in the background. No one was cruel to me, they just didn't notice me. I convinced myself that this was my role to observe, not to be seen. Then one ordinary day changed everything. During morning assembly, the principal asked a question from a lesson we had just covered. I knew the answer immediately. I told myself not to speak, but the words escaped before fear could stop them. The hall went silent. Everyone turned to look at me. Instead of laughter, the principal smiled. "That's correct," he said. "What's your name?" I walked forward, my heart racing, and said it out loud for the first time in a place where it mattered. Lois. After that day, a teacher stopped me and asked, "Why do you hide so much?" I didn't have an answer. But the question stayed with me. That year, something else changed too. Puberty hit, not in a dramatic movie way, but in quiet, noticeable ways. I grew taller, my face softened, my glasses didn't feel like a burden anymore. I learned how to smile without covering my mouth. My school uniform fit differently, and for the first time, I didn't feel awkward in it. But the biggest change wasn't my appearance, it was my confidence. It was my confidence. I still love books. I still enjoyed learning. I was still nerdy, just not ashamed of it anymore. I started raising my hand in class. I joined academic clubs. I spoke clearly even when my voice trembled. People noticed. Classmates who had never spoken to me before started asking for help with homework. Teachers trusted me with responsibilities. Someone once said, "You're actually really cool." Actually, really cool. I laughed when I heard that. There were days I still felt insecure. Days I wished I could disappear again, but those days became fewer. By the final year of school, something strange happened. I walked into a room and people looked up. Not because I was loud, not because I tried to impress anyone, but because I finally looked comfortable being myself. I was known as the smart one, the reliable one, the calm one. My name wasn't forgotten anymore. Today, I'm still Lois, still nerdy, still thoughtful, still quiet, but no longer invisible. A new term began. I worked during the holiday and got some money to change up some items for the term. I thought confidence would make life easier. I was wrong. When people noticed me, some admired it, others couldn't stand it. Her name was Maya, and she noticed me more than anyone else. At first, it was subtle. She accidentally took my seat every morning, smiling sweetly when I arrived and saying, "Oh, were you sitting here?" She laughed a little too loudly whenever I spoke in class. She repeated my answers in a mocking tone, changing just enough to make people laugh. Once, she hid my notebook right before a test. I found it later, shoved behind a locker. My hands shook when I picked it up. The old Lois would have cried. The old Lois would have gone quiet and blamed herself. But I wasn't that girl anymore. I had read too many novels to know how the story usually went. There was always a girl who stayed silent, always a girl who let things slide, always a girl who hoped kindness alone would make it stop. And it never did. So I made a decision. I would not be that character. The next time Maya tried something, I didn't explode. I stayed calm. When she mocked my answer in class, I smiled and said clearly, "If you're confused, I can explain it after class." The room went quiet. When she took my seat again, I said, politely but firmly, "I sit there every morning. Please move." She rolled her eyes, but she moved. When she whispered insults during group work, I ignored the tone and focused on the task. I spoke only when necessary. I didn't give her the reaction she wanted. That's when she escalated. She spread rumors, small ones, just enough to make people look twice. She laughed with her friends whenever I walked past. Once she said loudly, "She thinks she's better than everyone now." I heard it. I felt it, but I didn't break. Instead, I did my own thing. I focused on my studies. I joined clubs I actually enjoyed. I surrounded myself with people who respected me, and slowly something unexpected happened. People started noticing her behavior. Teachers corrected her when she interrupted me. Classmates stopped laughing at her jokes. Some even defended me. One day during a presentation, Maya tried to interrupt again. The teacher stopped her. "Let Lois finish," she said firmly. That moment felt louder than any argument. After class, Maya confronted me. "You think you have won?" she said sharply. I met her eyes and replied calmly, "Girl, grew up, she didn't bother me after that." Not because I defeated her, but because I refused to play the role she assigned me. I wasn't the weak side character. I wasn't the quiet girl waiting to be broken. I was the main character now, and this time I chose how the chapter ended